A proper lesson hasn't been taught for weeks. Still, these are testing times in our schools, with some preparing to welcome back pupils into what teaching unions claim is an unsafe space, after a day of talks that left their questions unanswered.
What we've heard today is government scientists saying that children, they think, don't transmit the virus more than adults, but they don't know how much less than adults, if at all less than adults, they transmit it. That's not good enough for us to know how safe it is to go back to school.
Helen is a parent first, doctor second, and like so many at the moment, an impromptu teacher as well. Her priority, the well-being of her children.
I think it's unethical to send children back into a situation which could really be dangerous for them and for their families, and just carry out an experiment, if you will, using the children as the subject.
With most classrooms locked up, easing the wider lockdown depends on getting children to school so their parents can get to work.
I wouldn't support a proposal to start to reopen schools unless it was safe to do so, and it is safe to do so.
The government accepts that as schools go back, the 2-metre distance rule is hard to enforce. Instead, class sizes will be limited to 15. There'll be staggered assembly and break times, and regular cleaning of classroom and playground equipment.
If you're going to have a period of time where you reopen society, schools are a pretty good place to start because we know the transmission will be low. The risks can be managed carefully. Nobody's suggesting the schools just go back like they did before.
It will be hard to convince people, even with these new school rules, that the risk is eradicated entirely. But 2 months into lockdown, many parents are wrestling with a difficult question. With so many lessons and so many friends missed, are their children better off back in class than cooped up at home? Steve Chalk runs one of England's biggest groups of schools. He's vowed to reopen them all.
If they can come back to school, they get nutritious food, they get space, they get out of the pressure cooker of small, cramped housing, the family can breathe, and that's got to be good for mental health.
But how many local authorities may yet follow the lead of Liverpool, which says it wants its schools to remain closed to all but the children of key workers? John Ray, News at 10.